Good morning, everybody. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing with today's pre-opening grain and livestock comments for Thursday the 16th. Well, really good action in wheat last night. Chicago wheat up 6 to 7 cents. Kansas City up 13 cents. Kansas City hit 54 last night, 54 and a quarter. It really looks like it wants to run higher. So there's something there to watch. It's ironic this comes on such a bearish USDA report last week, where they really hammered the wheat. So market's repricing. In the corn market, it's hanging in there, right? We've had a good bounce. Is there more gas in the tank? I sure do hope so. May corn trading at 52 and three quarters. Those May options expire next week, so you want to get after it. We're going to start talking about July soon. So May's at 450 and a half. July's at 460. Decent corn sitting pretty here at 480. Can't really say more than that. It's hanging in there. 470 held, 469. It was a big technical area. Hopefully that is our low dip for the spring. You want to make sure that you protect what you can, keep the upside open. With the action in the beans, again, really good, hanging in there. They tried to push it a little bit lower last night. We rallied back here. November beans, basically steady as you go, 1155. So 1155 new crop beans, looking pretty good, especially with all the bearish news we've gotten released lately with large, a larger than expected crop in South America, a decent carry out here. So to see November beans at 1155, that's pretty impressive. I put it in my letter last night. A year ago, excuse me, 2 years ago, 2 years ago in 2024 April, we were down at 988. Okay, a year ago, okay, just a year ago, April of 2025, we were at 992. So to be sitting at 1155 this April, you got to be happy about that, guys. No two ways about it. We were worried about sub $10 beans earlier, so to be sitting at 1155 is a blessing. Um, so that's about it. I would just say, we'll see. Can corn continue to rally? I'm watching spot beans. Spot beans, we've been in this 35-cent trading range, really a vicious trading range for the past 35 days. No two ways about it. It looks like we're going to break out to the top. We stop. It looks like, the night of the ceasefire announcement, they hammered it. It looked like we were going to go lower. Then we turned around and rallied. So very, very difficult soybean trades. I've been trading beans since I was 23 years old. Okay. And I've seen a lot of bean markets, and this is a particularly nasty bean market. Um, okay. We'll watch today in the cattle market. Now, we were lower yesterday. Everybody's going to start, trying to call it another top. I do not know. I would maintain my hedges. I tell you this much: if we end the week on our highs, it's just going to be more bullish, fodder for the grill. I think that cash continues to be strong. We do have the worry about the schoolworm thing coming through this country. If that ever becomes an issue, it kind of goes off the back burner. But it's been about 6 weeks since we've really been worried about it. It might be time for that to cycle back up into the news, uh, the 24-hour news cycle. So I would watch that carefully. The hogs, at a key level. I mean, if you look at May hogs, we are in the middle of the last rally. So, are we going to turn around here and pop higher? I don't know. We have had a pullback here. I'm looking at June right now, trading at 101. The contract high was 112. The start of this whole thing was back in November when we traded 93. So, you know, is the correction over? Are we going to push lower? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, people are always worried about with hogs. If we ever get headlines out there with the herd, has a risk. But this is a very, very, very key area. This 102.6, 102.60 area in June hogs. It is the lowest trade we've had basically since Christmas, and you know, we need it to hold, right? So if you're selling animals here, and you think that might get a spike higher down the road, go buy some very, very cheap calls. That's the way I would play it. If you still have animals that you haven't protected, make sure that you protect the buck, right? Nobody wants to be back down at 93 or 88, right, without a hedge. So That's my suggestion there. If you're looking for help, give me a call 312-638-8868. All in all, a pretty good evening trade, especially with Kansas City wheat.